It is now mathematically impossible for Democrat Bernie Sanders and Republicans Ted Cruz and John Kasich to win their party nominations, but all three are vowing to continue on in the face of defeat.
That if I am nominated to be President of the United States, that I will run on a ticket with my vice presidential nominee, Carly Fiorina.
I've never told them not to vote for me. They ought to vote for me. That I'm not over there campaigning and spending resources.
And let me also make it clear so that there is no confusion. We are in this campaign to win and become the Democratic nominee.
The question is it fair to you, the American voter? Here to discuss this is Fox News legal analyst Peter Johnson, Jr. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? You know, it's fair if there's some messianic saviors, if they're part of a movement, if they're fighting for your soul and my soul and the soul of the country and the soul of the Democratic Party and the soul of the Republican Party and the soul of the dog that lives next door. At some point, someone should say, hey, give up, go home. I think we've all had the experience in high school or college or some point in our life where we fell in love with someone. Or we wanted someone to fall in love with us.
You knew you had to give up?
These folks have fallen in love with the White House, but the folks who can send them in the White House have not fallen in love with them, and they're dating 3 or 4 other people. And someone should tell these candidates that they're not going to get a date, they're not going to get an engagement, they're not going to get married. They should go home and say, good try. So, following the example of Al Gore now, we've all become litigants. We've all become contestants now. We've all become winners, even though we haven't won. This is a new alternate reality. There's a path to victory for me. Well, the path is usually votes. There's a path for people to understand that I am the best. Well, that's the seeds of fascism. We are a republic. We are involved with winners and people saying this is a solution, this is an answer, you have the votes, you don't have the votes. If you don't have the votes, you can come back the next time. But to say, well, I'm going to get up and sing now, and I'm going to enter into World Wrestling Federation alliances, and then I'm going to pick a vice presidential candidate when I'm losing, and this is a movement, and I'm going to go all the way to California that Bernie Sanders says, what are we talking about? What are we saying to ourselves, and what are we saying to our children? What are you going to say to your blessed little baby? You say, okay, once you've lost, honey.
Right, right. There's a lesson in that. But what do you say to the voter who says these guys have every right to stay in the race all the way to the convention?
Yeah, they do have a right to stay in the race, and that's part of America, too. But it's also part of maturity. It's also part of leadership. We have great examples in our American history where people have walked away. Al Gore didn't walk away when he should have. Richard Nixon walked away for the national good in 1960, even though he thought it was a suspect election. But now we have a bunch of people who believe that they should get a ribbon, that they should get a trophy. We tell our children every day on television, we're so sanctimonious, you know, everybody doesn't win. Everybody's not a winner. But they think they can all be winners, but their ambitions should not hold America hostage.
Everyone should get a trophy. Peter
Let's
Johnson,
go.
Jr., thank you so much
Let's
for being
go.
here.